Alright, so it has been far too long since I made a video, so I'm going to try to fix that. Currently, where I'm at, working on the truck, I'm finishing up the exhaust and working on putting the air ride management on the truck. So that's kind of what I'm working on. Alright, so underneath the truck, I wanted to put the air ride management, all that stuff under the truck and put the battery under the truck as well. It will kind of be a pain to get to some of the things at times, but I just didn't want it to be shown. I wanted to be able to use the bed of the truck, and I didn't want the battery in the cab of the truck. So that's what I decided to do. So looking at underneath the truck here, the rear axle is right here. I mounted the battery up here with this bracket. I will leave a link for the bracket, Amazon link, which I got the bracket from. It'll probably be affiliate link, so if you buy the bracket, I'll see a percentage of it, which I haven't seen hardly any money from anything from Amazon. But anywho, that's beside the point. So I ended up welding in. There's cross brace here, and then one back here that you can't see. And then here, these two, I welded a cross brace up between these two frame rails, but it's tucked. It's sitting on this lip, and it's sitting on the lip here. And then I put like a 1-inch spacer. I really don't have a photo of that. I don't know. If I do, I'll post it up. But anywho, I put cross braces, and then I put like 1-inch blocks with a hole drilled in it for a bolt hole. And then this bracket, I drilled 2 holes to hold the bracket up to that. So the bracket's bolted to these cross braces, which are welded to across here, sitting on the lips. So they're sturdy. It's not going anywhere. This thing is solid. And then it's got 2 bolts here. And this front of the bracket like flips up to put the battery in. And then, yeah, that's it. Ground, power. I ended up getting these mk1 concept. I like these just because they had the rubber boot on it, but it's also got a 0 gauge and a 4 gauge hole, and then 2 external side posts, so you can use. There's 2 coming out and then 2 sides. So I'll leave a link for these as well if you like these, but I went with those just because of I liked how they looked. So yeah, that's underneath the truck. I also, I'll kind of show you the exhaust setup. It's kind of hard to see, but I already had the half or part of the exhaust for the downpipe that I have. So I ended up getting a Tectonics tuning truck exhaust, and I wasn't thinking, and I ended up getting a Borla muffler, but that is not going to work at all with the 4-link, which you can see it is very tight. So I ended up getting this smaller muffler, which pretty much fits in there almost perfect. I can't ask for a better fit in the spot that it is. And then the back portion of the exhaust just comes up and over the rear beam, and then I'm lopped it off there. The air ride's gonna fit up in here, so there's not a ton of room, so that's where it is. I might end up making this shorter, but right now this is where it's going to be. It's not totally fixed in position yet. I'm waiting for a couple clamps for up there, but yeah, that's the exhaust. Hopefully it sounds good. I have no clue what that muffler is going to sound like, but yeah. Alright, now for the the management bracket setup that I made. This thing is basically a copy design from one I saw on the internet. It's basically a rear parcel shelf setup where it mounts to this. Say on the back of a Jetta, you mount this up out of the way, and that's kind of what I was going for. So I have those cross braces here, and the tank is mounted to this, the compressors are mounted to this, and then the other side, as you can see, I have all my leader lines coming in. I still got to put something on this, whether I cap it or I put like a 90 with a Schrader valve fill here. And then I have 2 water traps, pressure sensor here, and then each compressor comes in. The leader lines come in, and then the drains in the bottom of the tank. I kind of wish I would have got a different tank, but this was the one I ordered with my air ride setup, so I'm just running it. At some point I may change it out for something different, but right now this is what I got. This is what I'm going to use. It fits almost perfect up in there. The only thing is yeah, it's crammed up in there tight, which I got to mount this up, but I'm going to do that soon. So yeah, I made this air ride setup. This is going in a center console with I got 2 rocker switches, one for the LEDs underneath the truck, one for the air ride to turn it on, and then 4 paddle valves and 2 gauges. This is going into the center console in the truck, which I will get in and show you that. I have the dash in, most of the wiring's done. I've kind of ran some of the air lines up to where they'll be in the center console. Center console is like this, and I've made that's where that piece will fit in there. I'll get into more of that later, but yeah. Alright, so I finally have all my power wires figured out, and kind of ran to the back. I still need to put like split loom around them and hold them up in place with like hold downs and whatnot. But power wires ran up front to the alternator and well, starter and then alternator. Everything's pretty much ready to go there. I just have to cover up all the power wire so it's secure and protected. But right now I'm going to get ready to install the management under the truck. So yeah, that should be fun. Hopefully shouldn't be too much work, but I'm probably gonna have to rig up something to help hold it up. It's not very heavy, it's just awkward, and the compressors on one side, it makes it a little bit heavy, so it tips. So I'll probably put up something so it'll make it easier to do it. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so that's up there. That wasn't too bad. Just sucks with the reaching your arms up and put them into tight places, I guess. But whatever, it is what it is. It probably would have been easier if I would have attached the bracket up first and then put the tank on and then put the compressors on, or vice versa. But I don't know, it is what it is. I held it up with my knees pretty good, which wasn't bad. I'll give you a look at it underneath. Alright, so here's underneath. I have my ground for the battery up here. Power wires will be coming from the driver's side, looping up to there. Most everything else I think I'm going to be mounting in this area here, which is basically just a on-off switch and a relay. I'll show you that also. But yeah, everything's in. I'm happy with how it turned out. Basically kind of how I wanted it to. Fits in here pretty good, pretty solid. Hopefully it doesn't vibrate too much. The compressors have a little feet on them, but nothing like crazy mounting feet, I guess. But it's pretty stealthy for, I guess, the back of the truck. You shouldn't be able to see it unless you get down real low and kind of look underneath. But then you might be able to see it, but all in all, I'm happy with it. The exhaust is all done. I have that all locked down, tightened up. Everything's ready to go there. I might have to adjust the exhaust tip, maybe. I don't know. I kind of didn't want it shooting that way too much, but I don't know. We'll see if it's okay there, whether or not I gotta tip it down more or just leave it as is, and it should be good. But yeah, that's the underside of the truck. Not too much more rolling around under the truck, I don't think, to do, but we'll see. I need to get them some split loom and then lock all the cables down to where I want them to be so they don't move around or vibrate and have issues. But here is when I was talking about the relay. This is the relay. It's a larger, it's basically to run 2 compressors on it. And then I have a circuit breaker style fuse. This will be from the battery to this, and then from out of this to the relay, then from the relay to the compressors. So, and then I have a one side's for power in, which I plan on adding a on-off switch, rocker switch, and then the other side goes to the pressure switch. So yeah, that's these. These are what I'm gonna do next. I have the rear, the management all done on the truck, the rear. That is all set. I still have to do the console wiring and hook up all the airlines and whatnot, but I'm going to do that after I put the carpet in. It's basically cleared out. I have the lines. You can hardly see the lines. The lines are all they're all going to come out by the shifter basically. And I have the power for, I have 2 switches, one for the LEDs and one for the air ride to turn, basically to give it power. So that's all done. The front lines are hooked up. The air lines, the rear lines are hooked up, and I basically have air in the rear lines, which that's what these are here. I have those just plugged off so I can put air in the rear lines because I was working on it. So the rear, I'll show you what everything looks like underneath. So I have the battery hookups here. This is the positive. The negatives hanging there. It's not hooked up. And then, so this, I have the red cable is the positive, goes into that breaker, and then from the breaker, it goes to the relay. And then I have each power line goes to one compressor, which 2 fuses here for each compressor. They're this is an 80 amp relay. This is a 150 amp circuit breaker, and then these are 40 amp fuses. There's one over there and then one over here. There. So you can't really see it, but there's two hookups. One gives it power, which is what up front, which I have wired to a switch, which is this yellow wire, and then the other one, which goes to the pressure sensor, and then the other side is grounded. So the rear setup is all done. The one of the rear bags, this would be the driver's side. I have the hose coming out, fastened to the rail, and then it's plugged in here, and then that's routed over to this side, and then the passenger side here is the bag comes out, and then I have the plug here, so it comes out there, and then I have it fastened, and the plug's here, and then the lines go up front, and then the lines come back goes up over, and then that's what those 2 lines are. Those are the supply lines from the compressor that go to the water traps there and there. So that's the rear setup. I'll try. So the rears, I basically have, right now I have air in it. I've had it in there for at least an hour, I guess, trying to see if I have any leaks. But those are just the rear air lines for the bags. So those are sitting there. Yeah, just checking for leaks right now with that. While I was doing that, I was pulling the fabric off the headliner, which kind of ripped some of the cardboard in places. So I'll have to try to fix this with some tape or whatnot. But yeah, there's the headline card. So I have yet to test everything as far as the compressors, which I'll probably do that before I button up things power wire wise on the truck. So yeah, I will do that for sure once before, make sure everything's got power, and then try to hit the compressors, make sure they turn on and all that jazz before I button anything up inside the with all that stuff. I still have some pieces to paint for the interior, and I'm going to work on putting the carpet in next. I have this old carpet here which came out of the truck, and then I have the new carpet. I'm going to take the new carpet and then lay this on top of it, and then mark out some of the holes just to give me a starting point. And then I'm going to put the carpet in the truck and then trim it more to where it needs to be so it fits good. So that will be a different video, but that's going to be the end of the air setup video of what I did as far as the rear management and then all the air stuff and whatnot. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and keeping at it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.